Hey everyone, I'm going to work on layout number 3 in the RTS Scrapbooking 444 series. And what this one calls for is a 3-photo layout. So I have my kids and my daughter's boyfriend in different configurations for my 3 photos. And what we have to use is one 12 by 12 cardstock. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. Our number 2 pattern is a 1/2 inch by 12 piece of paper, so I'm going to use this one. And the number 3 pattern is the 6 by 12 paper, so I'll be using one of these sides. And the number 4 pattern is 4 by 12, so I'm going to use one of these sides. So since it'll take me forever to figure out what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward and I'll circle back. Alright, so this is where I'm going to start all my hemming and hawing and trying to figure out how I want to set this layout up. This is the background piece that I decided to use with this for this layout. And the cool thing is, when Janet has us put these kits together, somehow you can always make something work. It's absolutely fantastic. So I don't know why, but oftentimes you have to trim different pieces. Like the pattern paper must not be uniformly cut or something like that. So I always find myself having to just get a little smidge trimmed off. Let's see, on the right, that's my main cutter. That's my Caterpillar crop, and it has an LED light on the far right side. And so you can kind of see underneath, like all paper except for like jet black. And right there is my Creative Memories oldie but a goodie little guillotine trimmer. It's nice because you can see little tiny pieces that need to be trimmed. So this layout, like I said earlier, is calling for three pictures, and I think layout 4 calls for 4 pictures. The only thing I'm not doing in this series is the set of cards, and that's just because I won't end up using a set of Christmassy looking cards until next year. So I have so many ideas and plans for my channel that I want to be able to use my time as effectively as possible. So it looks like I have figured out the basics for how I want my the base of how I want my layout to be set up, which, considering I only had a few pieces of paper, that shouldn't take that long to figure out. So let's see what I'm going to do next. Oh, one of the things that was really cool about this layout is that I was really able to incorporate some older supplies. I'll show you those as we come up. See right there, I'm having to trim the one side to make sure that it's all nice and flat and uniform. So this is where I will flip my photos around a little bit, trying to figure out how they're going to look exactly, or how I will decide they look best according with the wisdom according to me, how I want them to look. That makes sense. Anyway, so I'm starting to root through the different supplies that I pulled together for this kit to see what might match the papers. Those brads right there were part of the same paper line as that peachy color paper, so you know, obviously that works really well. This is a big honkin' chipboard piece from that My Mind's Eye paper line, but it fills in that little gap really nicely and makes a big giant block out of the photos. And I think it just says Mary on it. That's kind of cute. I have a lot of that sheet left to use, which I don't think is all going to happen during this Christmas. It's going to probably end up getting put away till next year. We'll see how that goes. You see right there my handy wax paper that I use all the time to be able to move sticky embellishments around without having to stick them and re-stick them all over my page. This is a set of alphas that I picked up. I bought 2 sets, but I found them at Tuesday morning, and I think they are actually a Christmas line, but they're really just black chipboard with a thin gold band running right down the center of them. So, oh, and these photos are taken at our house on Christmas Eve. And this wasn't a time that we were really exchanging gifts or anything per se. It was just a bit of an impromptu gathering, and it's kind of nice. People were in a good mood, and our house is kind of open for entertaining, so you'll see people in the background, and everybody's just hanging out. And like I said earlier, my son is in the blue shirt. My oldest daughter's boyfriend is standing there with the crutch. Oldest daughter is the blonder one, and younger daughter is kind of the wacky dark-haired one. And I'm saying in the large photo that you see there. And it looks like I will be naming this very cleverly Christmas Eve. All right, so the older supplies, this is what I was talking about. I think these are Kaisercraft rub-ons. And these things are ancient. Like, they feel dry and papery. I'm like, okay, let's see how this is going to go. So you see me right there testing a tiny piece to see if they work, and somehow they still work. And they had been opened, and I don't think I've touched them in 5 years. So I'm lining it up, and then I realize I don't want to press the whole sheet down in that area because rub-ons like to transfer themselves to spots that they weren't invited. So what I'm going to end up doing in a couple of different areas is using those rub-ons. They look like stitched rub-ons, and I'm going to use them as like little between spots on the seams, while making sure to that I have them on the top of the layout and the bottom of the layout, and then I'll fill them in where I can in between. They weren't a full 12 by 12 rub-on, and they were a little scuffed up from being in the package for years, but I figure I'll have a bunch of photos over that middle part, so I wasn't as concerned that it's an absolute a full continuous rub-on. And like I said, it's probably like 11 and a half, not 12 by 12 anyway. So you get to go through the thrill of watching me pray that these rub-ons will work with my very fancy applicator, the popsicle stick. I know somewhere along the way I did have like some kind of a real tool for but somehow you never lose your popsicle stick, but you definitely can lose your regular tools. I mean, probably with that tool is my bone folder that ran away, and I mean, so many other supplies, just I don't know where they go. I think we lose them when we move or something. I don't know. All right, so I'm looking at more of my rub-ons going, well, we might as well keep this train moving. So, and I'm going to end up choosing all different styles of stitches, which is just going to add a little bit to the whimsy of it and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you get to see me fiddle around, and it's not that fascinating, is it? What else can I tell you? Well, in between, I can tell you that I just joined Nicole Jones' new class last night. I got an email for it, and it's called, I believe it's called Be Inspired. And so far, there's only 3 videos that have been released where she's making her big kit for the class. And I had decided, I kind of thought about it, like, do I want to make another set of kits? What do I want to do? And I think I'm going to use some kits that I had previously, actually quite recently put together, and use them for the class. She starts with, I think, 11 layouts for the 15 different prompts, and then she'll be putting the rest of the layouts together with her scraps and leftovers. So I'm going to get 10 or 11 layouts worth from my kits, and actually I'll probably just, yeah, I'll do that and then follow along with the class, because I'm starting to get overtaken by kits in my craft room. And I feel like all I've been doing recently is making kits and not doing enough of the scrapbooking itself. And I want to share more process videos with you. I mean, of course, I'll be going to Tuesday morning on Friday because that's ever so important stuff. So anyway, you see how nicely that those rub-ons, they all worked. I absolutely could not believe how well they worked. So I'm looking forward to trying to go through my gigantic stack of rub-ons that I have this year. I'm really going to concentrate on that. I have a couple different things I really want to look at and concentrate on this year in my scrapbooking. Using stash is like so important to me. I do have my Click Kits kit subscription coming through January, and I have that comes through January, I believe, and I'm not adding any extras with that. I at some point will be getting my Secret Not Secret Kit Club subscription will start whenever Christina has time to put that together. I'm in no great rush. And I have my Tuesday morning hauls that I put kits together for myself. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to stop my recording for a second. So I'm still fighting through my rub-ons, but what I was saying is some of my goals really quickly was that I'd like to work through my stash of rub-ons. I have some that are 15 years old. If they don't work, of course I want to pitch them. I have a box that I recently organized of pocket cards, and I'd like to try to introduce at least one pocket card on each layout. If I can use more, that's great, but I have them organized by color, so those will be nice, easy, and useful. And I also have a 6x6 paper pad on my desk that I want to keep a continuous paper pad on my desk to use it for backing photos or anything I can, and that way I can get through my stash of those paper pads. I never reach for them without them being in view, which is kind of how most of my scrapbooking goes. I really have to see all of my products to even reach for them. And I rarely will reach for anything unless it's in a kit, unless I'm finishing the final little pieces of embellishing. So at least I know how I roll with my creative style. What you see right there is I'm using my ever so exclusive T-square ruler to line up my thickers, and those are like $3 at Michael's. I'm sure Joann's, Hobby Lobby, all of those places have them. They're dirt cheap, and I'm starting to need a new one because most of the print for my numbers is off of it at this point. So it looks like I chose not to use any matting papers on these pictures. I do have nice white borders, and I have plenty of pattern. You see how easy it is to go ahead and slip those photos once I have my first line that's lined up off of my alphabet on the bottom. Then everything else just gets lined up in square around that. There's that giant honkin' chipboard piece that I ended up putting on the right. And this, I think this is Aleene's tacky glue maybe. The reason why I like it, A, is it works, but B, it's made so that it's stored on this really flat cap upside down, so it's always ready to go. So it's not like you have to set it. See how I have like the clear piece on the bottom? That's actually the way you're supposed to store it, so it's always ready to go. And I know a lot of people use the fine liners, which sounds great, and I have one, and it's empty. But I've had really good luck with this style of glue, so I haven't transferred it yet. I haven't had a reason, because I can do really skinny little lines with the stuff that I do with it. And then I'm not as freaked out either. Like with the fine line bottles, they tend to clog up, and then I know I wouldn't want to spend my time clearing it out. So that's my justification why I don't have my cool fine liner out there. So you see that I am tediously going through putting my alphabet on here. And you do see a glare in the upper right on that photo. Sorry about that. I scrapbook in the basement of my house, and clearly there is not natural light anywhere near me. So now I'm done with my T-square ruler, and this is where I'm probably going to find extra bits. All right, so what you see right there are some flair from this My Mind's Eye product line that I got in a My Mind's Eye warehouse box. And those brads right there also came in that warehouse box. It's one of those that you don't really know what you're going to get for a set price, but usually come out way ahead. But I think I'm done buying them because what has happened is the last couple warehouse boxes I've gotten, the next week I've gone over to Tuesday morning and they end up having the same exact product there, you know, with a lesser amount, which is what I prefer. You know, I don't need 5 sheets of like peppermint pattern paper. So that is over with, although I always like the surprise element of warehouse boxes. For some reason, it's like a grab bag when you're little. Hold on one second. I am getting a very rotund bulldog up on a bed where I am recording this voiceover. Okay. All right, so what you're seeing there is me fighting to get the brads into all the little places, seeing what will fit where on this thing. The nice thing about this is, though, that I mean, my photos take up so much room. I have a ton of pattern paper, and that chipboard embellishment is massive. So I don't have a whole lot to do at this point. It's really just a couple finishing touches, and really so I can see if I can use up some Christmas product as I go. Oh, on the left there is Maggie Holmes. I was seeing if I wanted to use any of those tiny word stickers. And I'm pulling out anything I think would work for the rest of this project from the kit that I put together for a series, which ended up being great. I love that little bow. I have a green and a red one left, but it doesn't make it onto the layout. So now I'm going into that set of die cuts is from another My Mind's Eye line, but it's much more of a I guess it's vintage and a little bit more of a serious looking line. It's not as whimsical as the layout that I am using, but it looks like I was able to use that black label sticker right there from that die cut pack that you had seen right there. I'm using it just to add a little bit more black to the layout. If you can see there in the giant Santa chipboard, he has a little bit of black on his fancy outfit, so I wanted to bring in a little bit more so you can see it in the title, in the chipboard, and in that die cut piece. Oh, that bin you saw me working through were all these goodies from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club Advent calendar kit that I had received this year. That's the Merry Days Puffy stickers that I picked up at Tuesday morning this year. Very excited to get a couple pieces from that line. They're so cute. They're cute, they're vintagey, but they're also that super nice soft puffy, you know, not like the enamel looking puffy, but just the kind that feels really good on your hands. So these tiny word stickers there are from a couple years ago. They're a Hip Kit Club exclusive, and slowly but surely I'm pegging away at the words on it. But it's that they're just very specific colors, so it seems to me I keep using all the black ones, but I'm getting somewhere with it. So let's see. Oh, I think I tossed one into my bin that I would never use no matter what, so I figured, hey, it's one less sticker. This is the Vicky Bouton Tiny Word stickers, and they're a black, gold, and kind of an off-white color in that set, so it's kind of nice. You can get some good mileage on those things. It looks like I want to use a little bit of metallic gold to bring a metallic feel into it. So, are you guys done with your Christmas scrapbooking yet? I still have probably 3 or 4 more layouts worth to do, as well as some kind of a December documented series that I know I pulled a kit for, inspired by RTS Scrapbooking, but I have to look at it again. I don't even know what I'm doing there. I figured I would finish off this series first. So this is where I'm just trying to see, okay, can I get any more of these in? Can I add any more of these pieces? Right now, I have chipboard and flat elements in, and I usually like to have several different textures on my layouts. I am happy once again that I was able to get those rub-ons on there though. Excited to use up something that's just been lingering, and I never would have used them if I hadn't thought to put them in my kit. Very excited. So, anybody going to any crops? I haven't been to one in quite a long time. I do love online crops, so if you guys hear of any, let me know and I'd love to join in. There's one at Secret Not Secret Kit Club, I think the weekend of the 26th. I'll be doing that one, and then there's like a layout palooza the following Friday that I signed up for, but that's all online. That's fun. I think I prefer scrapbooking at home because I actually get scrapbooking done. I can just have some of my kids go ahead and pick up dinner for us, and I get to scrapbook till I'm almost burnt out. I don't know why that's fun for me, but it is. Alright, so right there you see me looking at these little adhesive sequins that I found one day when I was walking through, where was I walking through? Meijer, and they had a bunch of them just sitting on some end cap. They were 50 cents each, so I bought one of each color. I should have bought all the gold and all the silver, but I was just happy to find them. Fun little find, since I go to Meijer like once a year. So I was able to get that, and you just saw some of those doodlebug little enamel shapes in metallic gold. I used the little arrow ones on there. And I'm trying to see if I can use any more of these great crate paper, cute little, sorry, my bulldog's snorting next to me, cute little puffy shapes here and there, which hopefully those will stay on. I've heard that some people's are starting to deflate and all that kind of stuff, and I so love them. Puffies are my very favorite. I'm like, so here I am, I'm like, please, is there anything else I can use? I have so much Christmas stuff left. I need to get this stuff on these layouts. Oh, those are these cute little Miss Sparkle and Company little, there's gold and silver. They're like plastic stars. And they're really nice and dimensional, but it's definitely a different finish to the embellishment, so they stand out nicely. I like those. And that Miss Sparkle and Company, I think that's like Joann's product line. So I'm seeing if I can get any more of the chipboard anywhere, but I really have run out of room on this layout. But hey, I'll always double check. All right, y'all, so I finished this layout. I was able to use, let me show you these. Let's see. Oh, these I know. I was super old rub-ons by Kaiser Scrapbook. Anymore, I don't know if the dates on them or not. But I was able to use these, and somehow they still worked, which is amazing. So I'm gonna try to get through my rub-ons as much as I can this year. That was really fun to use up something that was really old.
In the coming year, I was really
I used
jazzed about that find.
These thickers that I recently bought from Tuesday Morning. These wood pieces from, oh, those are Heidi's swap that I got at Tuesday Morning.
Looking at there?
I did use the 3 pieces
pointing out
as prescribed in the
that I have brads, that I have sequins
from Janet from RTS, but I flipped them over and used the back side because they worked better with the background paper that I had available to me. And then just a few little word stickers and these cute little brads
it does not
from
matter what product lines it comes
from this Oh What Fun collection of brads.
Family.
And it came together super quick. I mean, you put a giant piece of chipboard like that on it, and it can fill up a page really nicely.
That's one of the things I like
so
to
that is
challenge
it.
myself
I hope you like it.
With
Here's my son,
how much I can,
my oldest daughter's boyfriend, and my youngest daughter, and then oldest daughter's boyfriend,
so
and then my
going to be
2 daughters by next to him by our fireplace on Christmas Eve.
What you see,
I hope you like it, and I will be back soon.
Else.
Bye bye.
We'll see you later, guys. Bye bye.